The moment felt like a crack of thunder in a silent room, the kind that makes time hesitate. A powerful woman, known for boardroom victories and fearless decisions, stood still with an expression that was not part of her public image: vulnerable, human, shaken. The words hung in the air like a confession she never expected to make, and in that instant, everything I believed about strength, dignity, and kindness was quietly challenged. It was not about a torn skirt. It was about the fragile line between pride and help, and the courage it takes to admit you need someone. Before the story goes deeper, pause for a moment. If you believe that kindness still matters in a world that often moves too fast to notice pain, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel The Kindness Chronicles. This channel is for those who believe in second chances, quiet courage, and the power of being human when it matters most. She was the kind of CEO whose name carried weight long before she entered a room. Her company symbolized innovation, discipline, and control, and she embodied those values. Stood there, frozen between fear and composure, knowing that stepping into that conference room as she was would mean humiliation, headlines, and a crack in the image she had spent years perfecting. Her struggle was not only about the tear. It was about what it represented. A woman who had fought her way to the top in a ruthless world, who had learned never to show weakness, now faced a moment where control slipped from her grasp. Asking for help felt like defeat. Silence felt safer. And yet, silence would have destroyed her. In that moment, I saw not a CEO, but a person carrying the weight of expectations that never allowed mistakes. I offered help with the only currency I had: respect. I understood that dignity mattered more than solutions, that trust mattered more than speed. What followed was not an act of boldness, but of restraint. I chose not to see her vulnerability, but to protect it. That choice changed both of us. As she prepared for the presentation, time pressed against us like a ticking clock. Every second mattered. Every footstep in the hallway increased the risk of discovery. I worked carefully, guided by professionalism and empathy, knowing that a single misstep could turn kindness into shame. The building buzzed around us, unaware that a quiet act of humanity was unfolding in its shadow. Inside her, a battle raged. Years of self-reliance told her she should never have needed help. Fear whispered that this moment could define her career. But another voice, softer and long ignored, reminded her that strength is not the absence of vulnerability, it is the wisdom to accept help when it is offered with sincerity. When she finally walked into that conference room, nothing outward had changed. The same confident posture. The same commanding presence. The same sharp intellect. But something inside her had shifted. She spoke with clarity, led with conviction, and delivered a presentation that would later be described as transformative. The deal closed. Applause followed. History recorded her success. But no one knew what it had cost her to stand there whole. For me, the day returned to normal. Tools were put away. Hallways were cleaned. Life moved on. I did not expect gratitude, recognition, or acknowledgement. Kindness is not a transaction. It is a choice made without witnesses. Days later, a message reached me through channels that usually never noticed people like me. She wanted to meet. Not as a CEO addressing staff, but as a person seeking to understand something she had forgotten. When we met, there were no grand speeches or dramatic gestures. There was only honesty. She spoke of loneliness at the top, of pressure that never sleeps, of how one small act of respect had reminded her that leadership without humanity is hollow. From that day forward, changes rippled outward. Policies shifted. Voices that had been ignored were invited into conversations. People felt seen. She began leading not just with authority, but with empathy. And I learned that even the quietest actions can echo in places we may never enter. The torn skirt became a symbol neither of embarrassment nor weakness, but of connection. A reminder that behind titles and uniforms, we are all human, navigating fragile moments that shape who we become. Kindness did not save a career that day. It saved a piece of someone's faith in people. As this story draws toward its end, take a moment to reflect. If this journey touched your heart, if it reminded you that compassion can exist even in the most unlikely places, please engage with this video. Like it, share it, and let others feel what you felt. Subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles so more stories like this can reach those who need them most, and before you leave, I have a special request. Please write a comment below sharing one moment when kindness, given or received, changed something in your life. Your words might become the hope someone else is searching for. Because in the end, it is not the power,